Hello, hello. Welcome to the live stream where we're going to talk about the number one way to scale your income and impact in 2024. I hope you're off to an amazing start this year. I've been having incredible conversations with heart-centered, high-performing entrepreneurs with big goals for this year and who are already crushing it right out of the gates. And maybe you are crushing it. Maybe you want to level up and you're feeling super optimistic about this year. Either way, I'm going to give you some tools and some insights that you can use in your business that are actionable, that will help you start to get those results that you're after. So the first thing I want to talk about is how in the industry and in the online world, we're blessed with so much information. I was telling my friend the other day, I was like, how can anybody be unhappy? You can literally be listening to audio books that are, personal, professional development, and listening to music and just pumping and filling your brain and yourself with amazing information all day, every day if you want to. Hopefully not, because you still want to be serving your clients. But basically in your free time, like, you can be listening to things and really transforming yourself from the inside out when you do it with intention. But when you kind of just take whatever comes your way and you're not really super intentional about the results that you want and how you want to create, and maybe if you get into that doubt and that fear mode and that worry mode, what ends up happening is you go online, and so all these negative thoughts start to enter your mind and you start to feel inferior, right? Like, oh my gosh, this person's doing this, and oh, they have their method. And look, everybody that's marketing something is going to be saying that their method is the method that you need because they're directing it to their ideal client. And then you have to decide if you're the ideal client for that or not as you read or have a conversation with them to decipher that. So when you get into that space where you're like super intentional about your energy and your thoughts and how you're creating your day, you're much more aware and intentional about what you're consuming throughout the day and how you're consuming it versus just kind of being on autopilot. So if you get into that mode where parts of you are kind of on autopilot and you're kind of going through the motions, it makes it really difficult to grow your business in a way that's like really sustainable, that's fun and exciting, because you're really coming from a place of like, not feeling good enough, feeling doubtful, feeling worried. And this happens. I've got people that I've had calls with that are 500K, 600K, 700K businesses that go and get into this mindset. So this isn't just for like newbie startups. Very high level, seasoned entrepreneurs will fall into this way of thinking and being. And then you kind of are reactive. And so I want to help you, especially if this is you, if you've been in this mindset space or even partial, like 80-20, like that 20% of like feeling negative or doubtful or reactive will impact your results. So the first thing that you can do that will really, really start to shift things and turn around your influence and your impact and your results this year and beyond, like the whole core of your business, not just in selling, but with your team, is to really tune into how you uniquely create success and your unique authenticity that helps you to create success. So who you truly are, what you stand for, who you stand for, who you stand as, and who you're taking a stand for, those ideal clients as well, but really like who you are as a leader inside of your business. And this gives you such immense power. It's almost like a reclaiming of power that happens where you're able to draw back all of those thoughts and all of those little cords and mental chatter that you have going out there, and that you're like falling prey to and vulnerable to by not being super intentional. You can recall all of that and reclaim a sense of inner power and inner success. And this is an act. This is something that you do every day. This is something that you cultivate inside of your being. And I don't even really think it's personal development. I think it's like true self, like who you really are. Like you have to decide that you are going to be this powerful, authentic, real person. And you've heard those quotes before, like be yourself, everyone else is taken. And you see what happens is because of all of this influence that I'm telling you about in the online space, which is can be a blessing and a curse for people, is that you start to feel like who you are really isn't good enough, like how you naturally do things, because you see these marketers that are like 9 figures and 10 figures, and I can do all these things and just come do it my way. But what if their way is out of alignment with how you naturally create success? And you've been there probably before where you joined a coaching program and you got into the program and then it was like everybody was getting results and you weren't, and you couldn't figure out what was going on. Or maybe you're in one of those programs now where it's like, well, everybody else is getting results. Like, why am I not? And the thing is, you want to look at, is this way that they're teaching me like actually aligned with how I naturally create success? So like that's one of the first questions I will have my clients really contemplate, like how do I naturally create success? And it's not just like a marketing strategy or as a sales strategy. It's like an energy and a way of being that creates success. So I know for me that there are certain factors, like when I travel and when I spend time with family, like that really makes me feel good and happy. And I love traveling, and especially when I'm like doing special things around family and that I get to take my business with me. Ever since I went full time as a coach in the fall of 2016 or summer of 2016, like that's been something so special for me to have that freedom and to be able to travel. And I always get clients and new clients around the time that I travel. So that's just like a unique circumstance for me. But there are other things as well, just around like me connecting with people and being open and being in the yes mode to receiving and saying yes. Like those are just some examples of how it works for me. How it works for you is going to be unique to you. And that is one of the things that I work with my clients on in our revenue acceleration coaching, is really tuning in to like, okay, we've got this system, we've got these different paths that we can take to get the result. Whether it's launches, events, rolling enrollment, hiring a salesperson, like marketing strategy, like whatever, like there's so many different paths. But let's first really find like what you're most excited about, how you naturally create success, and really like create those factors and create that ground. And this is so important if you want to double your revenue. Like I talked to someone recently, like they want to go from 350K to 700K in 2024. So these are the factors that we need to be in place, because this is actually through energy and through intention and through alignment. This is actually how we're able to compound results and create like stratospheric, like amazing results through that receiving of like how you naturally do things. And so here's the thing, this was such an aha for me recently. I was in a conversation with a very, very successful high multi 8-figure brand. We have a partnership that we're forming with them, or a consulting relationship that a partner and I are forming with them this year. And I was brought into a conversation for another project. And I had this huge aha moment where I saw how authenticity is truly scalable. Like it is something that is freaking scalable. And I think for myself, like I held back on talking about authenticity and vulnerability and connection, because I was afraid that if I talked about it, that I was only going to be talking to startup entrepreneurs and like brand new people. And brand new, like new to business, are not my ideal clients at all. And I used to work with a lot of startups, but that's just not where I am now. And so I was afraid to talk about it because I was like, well, I'm going to be directing the message. It's like, I didn't have it really sorted out. But then this huge light bulb moment came on for me. And I was like, oh my gosh, like authenticity is scalable. And I've seen it so many times in brands where I've worked with high multi 7-figure and 8-figure brands and seen how the guru got to a point where the authenticity and the essence of how they started the company and that initial bond that they form with the clients was lost in the marketing department, and it was lost in the sales department. It wasn't coming through. And that as a brand scales, it is so important that the marketing and the sales and all of the team that are brought in are brought into this culture of true authenticity of what the original founder intended to be. And a fabulous example of that is Ben and Jerry's ice cream. So Ben and Jerry's, they were two dudes, started their ice cream company, and they grew massive, and they ended up selling their business, and they've exited the business years ago. But the company itself, Ben and Jerry's, still adopts the same core philosophies that Ben and Jerry put into place when they founded the business. And so having values, a values driven business is scalable. And if authenticity, how you naturally connect with customers, I don't know why I said how, but authenticity is scalable as well. And who you truly are and how you want to communicate, you want to have that embedded into your processes and embedded into your marketing and into your branding. And as you start to scale and bring on that first sales team member, that you're educating them on the culture and the authenticity of how we connect with people. And then it informs your customer service. It informs your team. It informs all of these pieces. And when that starts to get lost, we actually start to see it affecting the revenue as well. So this is so important. So wherever you are now, whether you're at 100K or 1,000,000, 500K, in between, you want to really take a look at where the brand is right now in terms of the alignment with your original envision and what you set out to do and who you truly are and how you naturally create success, and make sure that the team, whoever is supporting you, is fully on board with that. And if they're not, if you have people that are pushing back, coaches, if you have coaches that you're working with, that they're telling you to do something else, and within your heart of hearts that is out of alignment with how you naturally do things, well, number one, they're not coaching you because they're probably consulting you because they're putting their agenda in front of yours. But this is something for you to really look at and really take a stand for, because this is make or break. And it's definitely, when it comes to results, you can still run your business, but loving your business, make or break the joy and the peace and the ease of the business. This is huge. Okay. So I really want you to be with this and look at, how do I naturally create success? What factors are in place? How am I showing up? What am I doing? I'm reading this incredible book called The Surrender Experiment right now. And Michael Singer, the author, his whole success, he built a multi-million-dollar tech, computer coding, medical billing company. And it was all rooted back to his original spiritual practice. So if meditation, spirituality, prayer, your faith, if that's the cornerstone of who you are, and you're not doing those things, and that's how you connect in with God's source spirit, and you're denying yourself of that, you're denying yourself one of the core ways that you receive abundance. Okay. So it's not just marketing and action, it's also our spiritual connection as well. So these are some things I really want you to reflect on. If you want to have a conversation about this and actually get some coaching and support on maybe it's I don't really know, I want to talk this through. How do I naturally receive and create abundance and exponentially grow? And I just need somebody to verbal process and talk this through and get coached. DM me the word revenue. Okay. Or you can comment below, but I know sometimes it's fun to DM it privately, especially on LinkedIn. And we're live streaming on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. So LinkedIn, you can DM me. YouTube, you can go to my website, CeliaFayMeisel.com, and send me a message through my website. Let me know you saw this. Facebook, you can DM me through my Facebook page. But I want you to DM me the word revenue, and then I'm going to invite you to a free 45-minute revenue acceleration call, or actually coach you and support you through this. And this is all about giving you value. And of course, at the end of the call, if it makes sense and we want to talk about working together and what that looks like, we will. But it is not like a sales pitchy call at all. So very transparent about that. It's all about giving you value and helping you get that clarity, because I know that when more entrepreneurs are living from this space and really allowing themselves to be guided by this heart-centered, high-performance leadership in your marketing, in your sales, and with your team and with your operations, like, there is such a power, and it compounds, and you're more joyful, your family's more joyful, the world's more joyful, because we have another joyful entrepreneur. So DM me or message me the word revenue so we can schedule that call, and then let me know what you're taking away from this live stream. Until next time, this is Celia Faye Meisel, Revenue Acceleration Coach and Consultant. Bye.